I was a programmer, and I chose it because I wanted to develop more hard skills than what I've done as a producer. When I was an undergrad, I was in a video game development course, and I was taking a computer science minor, and while I was going through it, I felt I actually enjoy programming. This is what I actually want to do with my life. I still want hands in the design, but I figured if I wanted to actually get into the game industry, that program is probably my best bet to do so. I think is willingness to learn, because as you program, you'll get into habits of, I want to program this way, and it might take someone saying, hey, listen, you're doing things completely inefficiently. This is stupid. Why are you doing this? And you need to take those things to heart, because that's what makes you a better programmer, especially in terms of efficiency, readability. The other thing is also a good programmer needs to be open to communication, especially with members of the design team. If you're unclear of how to implement a feature or what the feature needs to do, rather than chugging forward and try to figure it out yourself, it's a lot faster to open up Skype or Link or whatever and say, hey, I don't understand the design specs here. What do you want? What do you actually need me to do? And especially if you're trying to fix bugs as well, it's like something's not working correctly and you don't know what it's supposed to do. How do you know you fixed it? It's sometimes a lot easier just to open up, just to talk to someone and say, what is this supposed to do? Rather than sitting there for 3 hours thinking, oh, what should it do? Especially if you've never seen it before. Well, after the trial by fire and hell that FIEA was, I felt like I was a lot more prepared for the industry, because FIEA ends up putting a lot more work on you than what any company ever really expects you to do. I think in general, one of my favorite moments tend to be the day before a project is due and nothing's working. And it's 7 in the morning and you finally get to the point where it runs and it works, and it's like, thank God. So to generalize that, I feel like whenever I see a project actually come together, like to some sort of stable state, because so much time we spend working on our projects here, they're buggy, they're messy, they're unstable, they're prone to crashing, and actually finally getting it to a state where it's actually demoable, even if it's not perfect, is joyous to me, because it says like, hey, you're actually doing work, it's actually mattering, and it's your vision is actually coming together, and you can show it to people. Because we're working in a highly visual medium, it's like, if you can't show your work to people, what's the freaking point? I think I had come close a few times where I'd stayed here till like 2 in the morning, finally got something working and it worked. But those weren't really all-nighters. I still got home and got a good night's sleep. The first time that happened, not the all-nighter, but staying here late, I think was the end of RPP round 2, where we had a lot of miscommunication issues on the project, and I was here until I think 4 in the morning, working on stuff, and I eventually got to a point where we're trying to work in putting animations. I'm just too tired, I can't do this, I'm just gonna call it quits and face Ron's wrath the next day. Fortunately, he's a nice guy, he doesn't get mad at you to your face. So first and foremost, I know you've probably heard this 1,000 times before, leave your ego at the door and don't bring it into FIEA. No one wants it. I have seen countless times, even in my cohort, where someone's ego has led to some kind of drama or some kind of issue, whether it be people crying, people getting pissed off, or even the case of capstone teams where one just basically fell apart the last 2 weeks. And honestly, no one wants to deal with that kind of bullshit. Even in the industry, if you want to be a prima donna, Okay, that's fine. Just, I hope you enjoy the unemployment line. Number two is that you need to be open to receiving negative feedback on your ideas. Or at least criticism that's basically, hey, you did this wrong, this is how you need to improve it. Because honestly, we work in a collaborative medium. We don't work we're not film. We don't have auteurs. And it's like, you need to be able to talk with your team, say like, hey, is this a good idea? If it's not, what can I do to fix it and improve it to create the best possible product?